Health Care Act is coming into play, and I'm most anxious to see what happens with Senator Collins' bill, because this is a national quandary for employers in both the public and private sector, many of whom hire people who work part-time. And if 30 hours a week becomes considered to be a full-time job, that will trigger not just health insurance issues, but it could trigger vacation issues, sick pay issues, other benefits like a life insurance benefit that employees would have. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm trying to think so that's the biggest change we see in that. We're throwing a couple of extra dollars next year in personnel reserves. When people retire by union contract and by personnel rules, if they've got some unused vacation pay or sick pay, they get paid for that. And we're looking ahead. There's another thing I wanted to talk about in here. I'm going to forget them if I don't keep track of them. In terms of retirements, our employees can either belong to the main state retirement system or the ICMA system, and they invest in it, and it pans out. One of the things I've learned in the last year, and I did not know, is that you can have employees who work for you who are eligible to retire, who can retire. And the reason some municipalities have done this with some of their employees is it allows that person to retire and yet stay in their job. And how they do that is they officially retire, and they now can start collecting the retirement benefits. The community can still rehire them in the same job at the same salary, but the community now can save money because it no longer has to contribute to that retirement. And I've got 2 employees who are interested in pursuing that for the city, to work for us for a couple more years, but to retire now. And a net savings to the city because we wouldn't contribute to that. And I don't want to name who they are right now. I think that's something we discuss in executive session. But I wanted to tell you at least that's an issue out there for you to consider whether that's something the city would entertain or not entertain. Myself, I would do it on a case-by-case basis. I wouldn't make it carte blanche available to all employees. I'd have to know that the employee who is retired isn't really going to be retired. I need to know they're working here every day and doing what's expected of them every day. And I would have to just trust my own judgment on that with who they are. So we'll have more conversation about that in executive session, but I wanted to tell you about that issue that affects benefits. That would save us some contribution towards retirement benefits. We are in negotiations right now. And so and we're probably going to be in negotiations for a couple of months at least. And what does that mean? That means we have 2 unions. We'll meet with them each separately. They will make proposals. We're obligated under law, state and federal law, to negotiate in good faith. And we cannot alter or change any term or condition of their employment without negotiating it. So, for example, if the city of Belfast were to say, gee, we'd like to maybe ask the employees to pay 5% of their health insurance, well, we couldn't just unilaterally impose that, particularly where we have union employees. We'd have to negotiate that. That's something we'd have to talk about. And it may be something we do get to talk about, but we can't just do it like we can raise a fee or